dear students, hope you're doing good. Today we're going to talk about, in the science lesson, we're going to talk about the acid precipitation. Before that, I would like to remind you of what we talked about in the previous lesson. We talked about the air pollution, sources of human-caused air pollution. Um, Before we talked about the primary pollutants and the secondary pollutants. You know that pollutants are the harmful chemicals that if we're talking about the air pollution that has been added to the air, and they can cause uh, humans and all the living things and the environment harm. So, first, we're starting by the acid precipitation. What is acid precipitation? As you can see from the picture here, acid precipitation is the rain, sleet, snow that contains acid from the air pollution. You know that when the factories, as you can see here, factories, cars, when they burn fuels, they they release gases like sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide into the air, and they combine with the water in the atmosphere, and they form acid, sulfuric acid, nitric acid, and they fall as an acid rain. As you can see here, from here they combine with the water in the atmosphere, and then they in the as you can see in the picture, they become acid rain. So why is it harmful? We're talking about the effect of the acid precipitation on plants. As you can see, we have a self-check question here. How does acid precipitation affect plants? So they makes soil too acidic. You know that anything that God created on this planet, let's say, um, they have a specific acid. There's a range of acid for each thing. They have to stay in balance in their range, in their normal range. So when we have this acid rain in the soil, so it becomes too acidic, and as a result it washes away important nutrients, releases toxic metals like aluminum. Plants absorb toxins, and you know that it causes damage or death to the plant. And you know that plants are the primary source of nutrients and food in the food chain in our ecosystem. So the acidic rain directly affects the plants, and it indirectly affects us humans as well, and all other living things like herbivores, omnivores, even carnivores, since they're eating herbivores. So and also it affects the aquatic ecosystem. You know that aquatic ecosystem means the ecosystem of the water, inside the water. So it causes the lakes and rivers to become too acidic. So the fish and aquatic life die. And this sudden change of the body of the water, we call it acid shock. So acid shock is like a rapid change in water acidity, kills many organisms quickly. So if you want to, um, let's say it clearly, acid shock means like a rapid change in water acidity, and it kills many organisms. So pollution plus water equals to acid rain, and it harms life. This is about the acidic rain. Also, we are going to talk about the ozone hole. Before, I would like to show you the actual footage of the ozone hole at the moment. This is from NASA. First of all, what is ozone hole? We have to understand the ozone layer. Ozone layer is the layer in the atmosphere we previously talked about that protects Earth from UV radiation, from ultraviolet radiation. So um, when chemicals like chlorofluorocarbons, which is called CFCs, when they're used, which are basically found in sprays and refrigerators, especially the old ones, when they are released to the air, they react with the ozone. They break the ozone into oxygen, and they, as a result, they create a hole. And the protection, you know that, for example, when for example there's a hole, of course the UV radiation can enter, and also we won't have that protection. So it's dangerous because more UV reaches the earth and it causes skin cancer, eye damage, DNA genes damage. You know that our skins, they're made of cells, and inside each cell we have genes, genetic material, and that UV can cause mutation, and as a result, it might cause skin cancer. So the good news here is that there was a cooperation between countries. They worked together in 1987 and they did an agreement to reduce the CFC use, and ozone is slowly recovering, as you can see here. But it could take decades. So the we can from like what we noticed that it's improving, but it takes time. So about the air pollution and human health, dear students, you know that the air, anything polluted can cause harm, as we talked about. So in here we can talk about the short-term effects and the long-term effects. The short-term effects of the air pollution on human health, it can be headache, nausea, irritation of eyes, nose, throat, and as you can see here. And also it can have long-term effects such as lung cancer, permanent lung damage, heart disease, and so on. So it's better to work together in order to have an impact on decreasing the pollutants, the use of things that cause pollution, because they mostly affect children, old people, and people that already have like lung problems and health issues. So this was about today's lesson. Of course, we talked about in more detail, but this is like a summary for you. Any questions you have, you can ask me for the next lesson. You know that we have the vocabularies as homeworks and read about water cycle. I will send you the questions of the homeworks that I want you to do it for the next lesson. And also I would like to ask you to download this app here, Kahoot, so we can play it the next lesson together. Hopefully you can ask me any questions you have about the lesson. Thank you so much.